Human Resource, CARA, Core Civic, Discovery Mart Chevron, Gary Johnson Associates, J. Warren Flowers, Norris Management, Pinal Central, Colonel Richard Lister, Signal Peak Early Learning Center, Sound Abundance, Southwest Gas, Sushigan LLC, the Arizona Jackpot, Upside Youth Advancement. New members are Pollo Lucas, Hokey Pokey Ice Cream Sandwiches, Appliance Works, and Hermana's Cafe. Our visitor counts for July are 214 visitors, 8 in-state, 2 out-of-state. We had 1,652 referrals. Casa Grande Ruins had 3,740 visitors. Year-to-date is 73,209. Pinal Geology Museum had 38 visitors. Year-to-date is 956. The DAV Museum had 24 visitors, 259 year-to-date. Some upcoming events. I'm really excited about the Desert Sonita Community Health Center. Its grand opening is September 28th. Coolidge Cleanup is October 5th. 11-mile solar ribbon cutting is October 10th. American Legion Post 54, their Veteran Resource Center resources is October 11th. And the Pinal County Annual Veteran Stand Down is October 12th. Coolidge Days is October 11th through the 13th. Our membership luncheon is October 16th. Game night is October 17th. Our annual banquet is October 19th. Then we'll have the mayor's breakfast on the 24th. And then October 26th through 27th will be Kaywood Farms Harvest Festival. And then the 29th starts the city's Halloween Festival. Do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay. You can get more details on that stuff on our coolidgechamber.org web. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Moving to call the public. This is a time when anybody that wants to address the council can come up to the podium, give your name and your address, and you have up to 3 minutes to address us. Norma, you don't have anybody?
No, Mayor, I didn't have anyone come up, I'm sorry.
Okay, I don't see anybody approaching, so move out of call the public into business items for consent. Is there any consent items that any member of the council wants pulled off for individual consideration?
Yes, Mayor Thompson, I'd like to pull 4.
Same.
Okay,
Mayor, I'd like to pull 6.
okay. Any others? Okay. Item 5. Consider approval of entering into a cooperative purchasing agreement based on Pinal County 250529 IFB and subsequent renewals for supply, delivery, and application of pavement maintenance materials between the City of Coolidge and Cal Portland, Inc., and subsequent renewals in the amount not to exceed $100,000 for FYI 2425 Street Work Program. Item 7. Okay. Resolution number 24-27, a resolution of the mayor and city council of the City of Coolidge, Arizona, approving submission of an application for Proposition 202 grant funds from the Gila River Indian Community and approving the acceptance and use of the funds towards the expense of bringing the American Legion WD Hood Post number 54 up to current safety codes and environmental regulations located in Coolidge, Arizona. Item 8, consider approval of the claims for the month of August 2024. If there,
No further discussion. I make a motion we approve consent agenda items 5, 7, and 8 as read.
Second.
okay, there's a motion and a second. Norma?
Councilmember Murrieta?
Yes.
Councilmember Daniels?
Yes.
Councilmember Bagnall?
Yes.
Councilmember Saavedra?
Yes.
Councilmember Hudson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
And Mayor Thompson.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, item number 4. Consider approval to waive the sealed bid process for removal of the tamarack trees on McRae Road and Coolidge Avenue for an amount not to exceed $91,076.44, and entering into a contract with Brian Holt Contracting Company and authorizing the mayor to sign the necessary documents.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm be happy to answer any questions you have about this item.
Okay?
Oh, I really didn't have any questions on it. I just wanted to note that the bids that came in were, I mean, they went from 91,000 all the way up to almost $1 million to have those trees removed. And I just wanted to, say thank you to staff for going and getting this bid, because I was kind of looking at it going, well, almost $1,091,000. And I talked to Mr. Lopez, and he said, the contractor that is the low bidder has done work for the city before. They trust him and everything. So, he said, and so I said, okay, well, that's all the assurance I needed and everything. But I just want to thank you for doing that. And I think that it's also worthy to let the public know that, when you have bids coming in between 91,000 and almost $1 million, that, we've done our homework and we're going to get the best bang for them. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. We were quite stunned with the wide range of numbers on this particular bid, but yeah, so we're happy with the contract.
Great.
I did want to ask, what is the purpose and why do we need to cut these trees?
Okay, so these trees, next time you're out and about, these trees are on McRae Road and Coolidge Avenue. So if you've seen those big tamarack trees, they're growing over the roadway, up to it, and actually over the roadway. So we, on more than rare occasions, have these branches break because they're like over halfway of the road. And so it's a hazard to it, and the road is actually curved around these trees. So we're looking to get rid of these trees so we can take that curve out of the road eventually when we redo it, but it's a hazard. These branches break, they'll break in the middle of the night. It's a dark section of town, and they're actually encroaching on the roadway, and that's why we're looking to get rid of them.
So these aren't the salt cedars, they're tamaracks.
Yes, they're tamaracks. Tamaracks is a salt cedar.
Okay. Because I was going to say, they look like very different things when you Google tamarack tree, but I'm like, those sound
Yeah,
like...
they're
and they're
salt
very
cedars.
invasive. What do we do as they come back? Because they will come back.
So that was part of this bid, is that the trees are not only going to be cut down and the stumps are going to be ground, but they're drilled and poisoned too. And so that's why we're looking to drill them, poison them, and they're going to be ground below ground so that they're out of the way to kill the stumps off, because, and they're hard to kill.
There.
So if they start coming back up, then we'll get back in there while they're small. We'll trim them up, and then we'll re-drill them and re-poison them to kill them and get them out of there. But getting rid of pulling the actual stumps, there's utilities there, there's ditch banks there. We'll be tearing all that stuff up. We'll drill them and we'll kill them off, and eventually they'll die. It's just going to take a little bit.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Okay, if there's nothing else, and Mayor, I'd like to approve consent agenda item 4 as read.
Give a second. Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Item 6, consider approval to unfreeze capital improvement plan funds in the amount of $160,000 for the purpose of utilizing Arizona Foundation Solutions to repair the foundation at the Coolidge Adult Center, waiving the sealed bid process in the best interest of the city, and authorizing the mayor to sign the necessary documents. Okay.
Mr. Navarro, I was just kind of curious. I may have missed it, but when was this first noticed?
So we've actually had this on the CIP for about 2 years. Actually, our previous building maintenance foreman, Vern Bridges, had pointed this out to me about this crack that was in the foundation. We had noted it. We had put something on the books for it that was a pretty low number. When he moved on and we brought Sam in, we went and reevaluated this again to see what we could do. And we brought in a professional to see what it was going to take to fix this. But this foundation crack runs completely across the south side of the building to where it's actually, the side of the building is dropping. You can see where it's working. Everything. So this is the second year that we've been looking at it.
Well, I know it needs to be done. When I saw the pictures, I thought, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is not something that we should you know, be waiting to do. So is it blocked off where the people can't get to that area, or?
So they can still get to the area. It's a bit of a tripping hazard, but it's not too bad. And so if you're in the dining hall, this is all the way against the south wall where you can see it, and then the crack starts to split. So it goes from it would be the southeast corner and then works its way into where you go into a little kitchen area. It works across that way and it goes across the floor. And so the floor is lined up even enough to where it's not so offset to where you can't, where it makes it a bad tripping hazard. But you can see where it's starting to tilt. So if you walk against the side of that south side of the building, you can actually feel the tilt and see it because it's dropped several inches already. And so it's actually affected the roof on that side of the building as well.
Wow. Okay, I was just kind of curious.
Yeah, so it's been going on for a little while now, and this is something that was brought to my attention when I first came on.
Yeah, I sure don't want any of the elderly to, you know, get injured down there from it, so.
If that crack keeps going like that, we'll just have to roll them crack and fill it up. It's getting nastier and nastier.
Okay. Anybody else?
Okay. Need a motion to act.
Mayor, move to approve item number 6 is read.
Second?
Okay, motion to second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving to business items, regular items.
Mayor, I'd like to abstain from voting on item number 9, please.
Okay, got that, Norma. Item 9, consider approval to waive the sealed bid process for the purpose of purchasing one 2023 Chevy regular cab 1500 from Garrett Motors for an amount not to exceed $30,150, utilizing capital sales tax funds and authorizing the mayor to sign the necessary documents.
Good evening again, Mayor.
There you are, huh?
Glad to be here. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have about this.
Is this a truck bin for Dennis Gillespie?
So yes, this is because we've hired an additional code enforcement officer. We are going to need another vehicle for code enforcement. And so what the plan is that because these guys are new, we're going to push the vehicles around, and the new vehicle that we're going to be purchasing is going to go to Dennis Gillespie. His truck's going to be passed down to code enforcement, and code enforcement already has another vehicle. And so this is to backfill for the additional position that's been hired.
So Dennis is gonna get a little leg room now, huh?
So Dennis will have a little leg room. Dennis puts in a lot of work for the city, so he definitely deserves a newer vehicle.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
And so these, just so you know that this is a 2023, we've bought several of these in the past. So we just recently purchased 2 for the Parks Department. We purchased 1 or 2 last year. These vehicles have low miles on them. They're practically a brand-new vehicle, and we get a good deal on them through Garrett Motors. And so these have been good for Parks and Rec. They'll be good for code enforcement, for building inspection and everything. These are nice vehicles. They're practically a new vehicle, so we've been very happy with them.
Still has warranty on it, right?
Still has warranty on them, yes.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Not hearing any of that, I need a motion to act.
Mayor, move to approve item number 9 is read.
Is there a second?
Second?
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Item
you.
10. Fire Administration recommends the creation of a dedicated fire mechanic position to be assigned to the vehicle maintenance section.
Good evening, Mayor Thompson, Vice Mayor Henry, City Council. This position that we're looking to create, our firefighters rely on a wide range of specialized equipment to perform the they do. Regular maintenance ensures that all equipment operates safely and effectively, reducing the risk of failure during emergencies. A dedicated fire mechanic would conduct timely inspections and repair any unexpected breakdowns in this equipment. Currently, our vehicle maintenance section is responsible for over 200 vehicles and pieces of equipment. And they do this with 3 mechanics. Currently, the fire department has about 14 outstanding work orders on our equipment. None of these are issues that would, what we call downable offenses, meaning they wouldn't make the vehicle out of service, but they are issues that need to be corrected. And by creating this position and ultimately filling it next budget year, hopefully, we could ensure that our critical pieces of equipment in the fire service can stay ready to respond to any emergencies.
Chief, I read through the updated job description. It looks like once they get done with the 14 items that they need to clarify, clear up, then they would be able to work on the other vehicles.
Yes. Yes. Basically, what I'm proposing is that
And this will
position-
be under you?
Correct. Yes.
So the person running the shop won't have any, I mean,
Well, they'll be funded from my budget, and they would work at the vehicle maintenance section.
okay.
Mayor, if I may, yeah, we talked about having the position at the shop with the rest of the mechanics, but also responded through Jeremy. And Jeremy, they would answer that. He's in charge of the shop. So that way he can, direct the mechanic to work on the fire equipment, but as soon as they're done, they can do other things in that shop. So they'll add additional mechanics to it.
Have you guys checked on the specialized training? Will that person be gone a lot?
The person will not be gone a lot. Once we get them in, then what we can do is get them through the CDL process and the EVT process, which is the emergency technician process, which is a separate certification, and that takes a few months to acquire. So it would be, we're looking at a long-term solution right now, and by doing this, we can ensure that vehicles, because our vehicles are very large, have a lot of moving parts to them, and they get used so often that there's a lot of things that go on with them. And I'll tell you right now, our vehicle section is second to none. These guys get this stuff done whenever we call them. They do the best that they can with what they've got, and this is just a way to take some of the workload off of them, ensure that other pieces of equipment in the city that need their attention get that attention the same as ours do.
Thank you.
I called when I saw this agenda item, and I called Jeremy and asked him if in fact he'd keep a mechanic busy all the time. And he said yes, and then he did say that if he wasn't busy, he could fill in with other work, police vehicles or other maintenance vehicles and everything. So if that in fact is the case, then I think we probably,
Yes.
You don't need a fire truck down and not being able to do his job, so.
No, and part of this extra training that they get, this emergency vehicle training they get, is they get trained on the specifics of fire service vehicles, but they also get a lot of training on heavy duty equipment, on how to repair heavy duty equipment. So the thing is it translates a lot into some of the vehicles and the equipment we currently already have in fire service vehicles.
If I can, Chief Jeremy, are you guys going to need a lot of extra equipment to work on fire trucks? I mean, I know now we send them to Henderson, Nevada to get them fixed. Do you know
Good
anything
evening,
about-
Mayor. Good evening, Council. As far as extra specialized equipment, we've been getting by with the equipment that the city has provided us. It's more of manpower, like Mr. Hudson said. PD and fire come first, always have. Streets don't like it when they have a grader or something down, but that's just the way it is. Public safety is number one, obviously. But as far as equipment goes, pardon me, it's not really an equipment issue that we're having right now. It's a staffing issue that we're having right now. So we provide the equipment. We have all the tools. Like Chief Dillon said, heavy equipment's heavy equipment. That goes for fire apparatuses, dump trucks. They're all the same. But when we talk about EVT, emergency vehicle technicians, they're specially trained on sirens and pumps and things like that.
Okay. Just want to make sure that along with that position doesn't come hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of
If that
extra
were to happen,
equipment.
I'll have Ben ask.
Yeah, I know you would. He's about ready to get to the bottom of the well.
Yeah, I'm right there with him, so. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Mayor, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
So the 14 open work orders, that's
Yes.
with our department, right? Not having to send them out.
Correct. Yes, that's with our department. Usually, if we ever have an issue come up, I usually get with Jeremy or Ben. We figure out, okay, is this something we can handle now? Is this something we can hold off until we have time, or is this too big to where we have to send it out? Because there have been times in the past where we've had to send them up to Phoenix or over to Casa. It's a much larger issue than our current vehicle maintenance section can put the time into. But yeah, those 14 are the ones that we currently have open.
So then, I mean, I want to support this. It sounds like the need is there. I guess, I don't know if this is a question for Gabe or not, but I feel like maybe this is something we should talk about when we're planning our budget for next year, only because of everything we went through with PD this year planning for budget, where we talked about adding more officers, the salary, maybe giving raises, and we all already agreed that next year budget, we're gonna be talking about fire department and giving raises or adding extra positions. So I'm just not sure, like, putting this in right now is the right time.
I agree with you, actually. It is not the right time. What I'm asking the council to do is to create the position so that we can fill it should we need it in the future. Because as of right now, I do not have this position in my job classification. So we have to create it in order to fill it. I can't fill something that's not created. And that's all this item is for the council to create this job so I can put it in my classification to fill at a future date.
If I could add to that, there may be an opportunity also for an existing mechanic potentially to get some training and move up to that position. So it's not that we're going to bring somebody automatically in. Maybe there's an opportunity to train someone. But if the position exists, then you can add the training to it. So you're creating that right now so that it's available.
Yeah, I guess my concern is the salary. Do we have the money to pay a whole brand new salary? And that's where I'm not sure that we're there yet.
Right. Yeah, correct. This budget year, no, we don't, because the budget year's already been passed.
And we don't know what next year's gonna look like.
That's correct. You're right. We may not have it next year, but at least we would have the job created to where if we do have those funds, we can fill it.
So my question is also about pay. Is this in line with the other mechanics that we have as a higher grade?
We have a range. It is in line with the rest of the mechanics, but we have a range that we can put this person into if they've already come in with all the certifications that they already have to expend any money to train them, then we could bring them in above minimum because they already have it.
And so if we had, any of our mechanics did want to go for the extra certifications, they would be able to do so?
Correct.
Okay.
So what's your pleasure? It sounds to me like if we approve it, then you could pretty much hire somebody and then send them to training on what I've heard here.
Mayor, our plan would be to have it come back to you for during the budget, and then we would ask for it at that point as part of any increase in staff. Remember, we're going to talk about adding another fire station or two potentially, so we're going to have use some more equipment running around the city. So this is just going to increase, and we're growing. So we saw the need to do this, to get it at least approved. And then as we go forward and we come into the budget, we'll look at everything that's needed at that point, whether it's the mechanic or other staff. I just got the two new code people started today, so I got those on board as you approved. So they're starting.
Yeah, and it states right there the creation of a dedicated. So
Right.
it's not like we're going to hire one right now.
No.
It's going to be a creation of a job. If we have the money in the next fiscal year, then we decide at that time whether
Correct.
we're going to hire them or not.
Right, yeah, I'm not asking the council to create and allow me to fill this immediately. I already know that I don't have the money in my budget for this position for this year. That way, but I'm trying to be proactive and get this job created so where in next budget year, when we do our discussions, if we have the money to fill it, then that position is already created, and I don't have to come back after we've done budget and try to create the position and fill it.
Mayor, the budget discussions will start this October, November. I think in December, we start budget pretty early.
Well, I'm not necessarily against the position, but as I look out there, I see 1, 2, 3 other department heads. What's to stop them from coming in and trying to get their budget needs filled prior to budget discussion?
Well, we were supposed to go through the process. And that's the way we're going to do it. So
Well, I guess you just answered my question. I mean, I'm just saying, either way, I would support this position, but if we do it for the fire department, then what's to stop some other department head from coming in and saying, well, we have the same similar needs?
And it could be, but at this point, we identified the fire department being the one with the most need at this point for when we come up for the budget. So as we talked through it and met and did all that.
Okay, well, whatever the council wants to do. I mean, I'm just saying, I expect we'll see a few more.
So, Mayor and Council, if I may, myself, Jeremy, Chief Dillon, actually brought this up just due to needs of the fire department. Like Jeremy stated, fire department, police department, they take priority over everything. I mean, we had a roller snap in half last week where the wheels actually came off of this thing, and that's stuff that happens over in Public Works. But if worse comes to worse and a fire truck is down, that roller would literally be pushed off the road with a loader, so it's out of the way and the fire department is taken care of. That's not something that we want to do or not something that happened, but we want to make sure that our first responders are taken care of. That's why we brought this up, and fire department's growing. As Mr. Lopez said, we're looking to expand the fire department. That's something that's coming. This is just one of those things that we're looking to earmark this. As Chief Dillon says, we're not looking to fill this right now. We can't do it anyway. This is just putting an earmark for a position it's there, it's possible to fill, but it would not be filled or able to be filled until budget comes up, and this would be the discussion. We would still have to figure out the pay range for an EVT certified technician because they are not a basic mechanic because of their training. They have specialized training. And so a pay range we'd have to come up with it. It'd have to be agreed on, and then you as council would have to agree with that pay range also before it could even move forward. This is, like Chief Dillon had said earlier today when we were speaking about this, step 1 of like 10. And so this is just getting it started. So it's not that we're actually going to fill the position, but these guys, there's 3 guys, there's a lot of stuff going out there, and they're on it. They're running like crazy people, and you can't run like that. Every day mistakes happen. So this is just something we're looking to do to make sure our first responders are taken care of immediately, and that's why we're looking to earmark this position.
So this is just a position, trying to create the position. It's not saying we're going to fund it in the future.
No, this is just creating the position, and that's all this is.
Yeah, because it says right here that you're not going to fill it until next year budget, 25-26.
Yes, budget has already been closed. We don't have the money for it, and it's not like we're trying to push this in the middle of budget year. We know that it's going to have to be looked at. Budget is ever moving, so it's one of those things that when we get into budget discussions and everything, this again has a possibility of what we're looking to do. And so this is, like I say, we're just trying to earmark this position, so when budget does come up, this is a position possibility. Just like there are multiple other positions at the city that are not filled, and they stay unfilled, and they're not even budgeted for, but that position is still there, it's earmarked. And that's all this is earmarking that position.
Spoken like a true ex-city council member. Trying to dance around everything, but I like I say, I personally don't have any problem with it. Why don't you guys, does Casa Grande have one of these type of mechanics?
I don't know if Casa Grande does.
How are you going to get
Jeremy is actually EVT certified.
Okay, so
But there are
what I'm
several
wondering
layers.
is, how are you guys gonna get a price range established?
And so Jeremy has actually been reaching out to different municipalities. So Gila River is one that has ranges for EVT certified, and it was Golder Ranch?
Golden Ranch and City of Tucson.
Golder Ranch and
Oh,
City of
okay.
Tucson. And so,
Oro Valley out there?
yeah, so Oro Valley. And so that's where we're looking right now to pull ranges of EVT certified mechanics to see what they are. And then, once we have this information, we can also look at the League of Cities and see what they have, so we can get it so it's in line with the rest of our positions, because that's what we do for Public Works, Fire, is looking at our population counts and everything, so everything lines up.
Okay, has anybody got any other comments or questions, thoughts?
No, no further discussion. I make a motion, we approve.
Second?
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Item 11, resolution number 24-28. A resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Coolidge, Arizona, abandoning without compensation an 80-foot wide strip of right-of-way for Park Avenue lying between the north and south lines of Block 69 and Block C, immediately adjacent to the east line of said Block 69 and the west line of said Block C, of the plat of Randolph, Arizona, according to the records on file in the office of the county recorder, recorded it in Book 2 of Maps, page 5, Pinal County, Arizona.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Back
You
again.
again, huh?
So this section in Randolph, so as most of you know, Randolph has undergone quite the rejuvenation process here. And so they've gotten sidewalks, paved roads, gas lines, water lines, street lights, lots going on with Pinal County with doing this. So we have parts of city limits that weave in and out of Randolph. This particular piece is in between Stinger Welding and I want to say 8 properties. And this is, it was an alleyway that was not even a traveled road, it was undeveloped. So as part of everything that's going on, we were reached out to through Rick Miller about possibly abandoning this section of right-of-way. This is a piece of right-of-way that was overgrown with trees, holes, there was trash on it. It was not a HERF road, so it was not maintained, and so we didn't maintain this piece. We decided that it would be in the best interest of the city to abandon this piece of right-of-way so we no longer have to maintain it. We don't maintain anything in Randolph except for a drainage that's actually on the way out. And so we brought this forward tonight to, basically we're abandoning this. Half of it's going to Stinger Welding, the other half is going to the homeowners that are in that area. I can tell you it was kind of a bear getting a hold of everybody that's over there, but once we got everybody and had to explain what was going on, they understand that they're just getting a bit extra piece of property and they can run their fence out. And so that's what we're looking to do, is get rid of this piece of property so we are not responsible for it and we do not have to. And so I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. Navarro, I did go out and take a look at the property, and it appears that Stinger's already occupying a good portion of, probably about 2/3 of the 80-foot that we're looking to abandon. And then the balance is on the adjoining neighbors' properties and everything. So, I mean, I think they have a little bit more, because I know in the abandonment process, if it's an 80-foot wide right-of-way, 40 goes to each one of the property owners, but I would say that they probably have about 60 feet that they've already, that Stinger is already occupying, and it's my understanding that they're working with the deal with the residents there to go ahead and maybe compensate them or something for the part of the right-of-the-way that they'll be getting.
Yeah, so Stinger has encroached on our current right-of-way.
Right.
They have encroached. And so the deal that the Randolph community has an attorney, Diane Post, and she has been working with the residents along with Stinger to basically compensate them so Stinger doesn't have to move their fence.
Right.
And they can they can work out a deal to say, but for our part, we're splitting the right-of-way right down the line. So it's half goes to the residents, half goes to Stinger, and it is up to them to divvy out how they are. So they'll pay them fair market value for the land. They'll end up getting a piece, and it might be, they might get a check for $1,000.
Right.
It's not a lot of money. It's very worth Stinger's money to just pay them to not move their fence.
Sure.
And so that's what's going on with that. And so, like I say, the attorney for the community is handling that portion of it.
Right. Okay, great.
Anybody else? Okay, I need a motion for act.
No further discussion. I make a motion, we approve resolution 24-28 as read.
Is there a second?
Second?
Okay, motion and a second. Norma?
Councilmember Hudson,
Yes.
Councilmember Saavedra,
Yes.
Councilmember Bagnell,
Yes.
Councilmember Daniels,
Yes.
Councilmember Murrieta,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry,
Yes.
and Mayor Thompson.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Ben. Moving to report from the mayor and council. Start down here with, actually, we'll go the other way. We'll start with,
Wow. I don't have anything this time.
Oh,
I'm going to shake it up, though.
Trying to get people.
Councilmember Murrieta.
I just want to say congratulations to Gabe and his team for being acknowledged. And I guess that's it.
Thank you. Councilmember Bagnell.
Nothing really. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming tonight to the Ben Navarro Show.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've got nothing.
I don't have a thing.
Vice Mayor.
I don't have anything.
Gilbert.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Just want to also acknowledge the Randolph community had a real nice event on Saturday, and they had music for Hispanic Heritage Month, and they put it on Facebook. So those that went, I went there a little later and had some pozole. It was really good, and they had some music playing on stage. There was quite a few people. It was a pretty good event. So just want to acknowledge them, and it was a really good and nice event. Also want to thank Gabe and their staff, finance accounting staff, for the acknowledgement of their good work on the city's reporting. And also just let you know, TextMyGov, Ben and Norma have been working on this, and it's a way to send alerts to citizens that sign up. They can receive different types of text, so you'll see this come out on the 30th for a staff's meeting to work out some bugs, and then hopefully we're targeting, I think, October 1st to roll it out. So it'll look like, kind of like this, and it's they can get sign up for different texts, like it could be from the council, if you send texts out on different things, or emergencies, like when the power went down, we can send that out. So anybody that signs up will get these texts, and they can pick from like 6 or 7 different types of texts they can get. So it's a great product, so you'll be seeing that in your future, okay? That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything. I need a motion to get out of here.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming.